Hi guys, I'm back with the next Flat Stanley book. This is called Flat Stanley and the Flying Chinese Wonders. So I'm assuming that Flat Stanley is probably going to be going to China. Let's see what is happening with Flat Stanley. Chapter 1 is called Unlucky Day. The fact that Stanley Lamtrap was flat did not mean he enjoyed being treated like a poster. Stanley trudged back and forth outside the school auditorium with two giant pieces of cardboard covering the front and back of his body. There he is. So both signs read, "The Flying Chinese Wonders, a Chinese New Year performance for the whole community." People streamed inside. A beefy boy from Stanley's class called out, "Look, it's the poster boy for Flat Kids." Stanley grimaced. He hoped no one else would notice him. "Well, hello there, Stanley Lambchop." It was Dr. Dan, who Stanley had visited just after he was flattened. It wasn't long ago that he'd woken up to find that his bulletin board had fallen on him in the middle of the night. "Helping out with the big performance, are we? Well, good for you for making a positive use of an unusual condition." How embarrassing, Stanley thought. After Dr. Dan left to take his seat, Stanley's family appeared. "My little star," squealed his mother, Harriet Lambchop. Stanley tried to smile as she kissed the edge of his head. His little brother Arthur rolled his eyes. "He's not even in the show, Mom." "Now, Arthur," Mrs. Lambchop said, "those behind the scenes are just as important as those on stage. And nobody is behind the scenes like our Stanley." Mr. Lambchop winked. Stanley sighed. He'd always liked being in plays. Now all anyone wanted him to do was move the sets because his shape made him hard to see when he crossed the stage. "I'm not even moving scenery today," Stanley grumbled. "Why not?" asked Mr. Lambchop. "Are you in charge of the giant pandas?" said Mrs. Lambchop hopefully. "They've always been my favorite wonders from China." "No," Stanley pouted. "There aren't any pandas. The spotlights blew a fuse, so—" He held up a giant flashlight from behind his poster. "I have to hang upside down from the ceiling with this." "Hey, Stanley," called his friend Carlos, who lived next door to the Lambchops. "Don't break a leg." Stanley's mother chuckled. "He means break a leg, dear. That's a common figure of speech in theater. It means good luck," Harriet said. She took a great interest in the proper use of the English language. "I don't think so, Mom," said Arthur. "I think Carlos meant don't fall from the ceiling and break your leg." "Be quiet, Arthur," huffed Stanley. Once everyone was seated, Stanley took his place. He hung with his lower body rolled around a bar high over the crowd. "It's not fair," he thought. "Why do I always have to save the day anytime someone needs something flat or flexible?" There he is, getting ready to do the lighting. On one hand, Stanley's new shape allowed him to do lots of fun and exciting things, like fit between the walls of an Egyptian period and be a cape in a Mexican bullfight. On the other hand, he was often asked to do uncomfortable, humiliating, and boring things that would never be expected of a rounded person. For instance, he was rolled and tied to the back of a horse in South Dakota and forced to ride with baggage in the cargo of an airplane to Africa. Stanley didn't want to hang high in the air holding a heavy flashlight. He didn't even know what to expect on stage. The performance had arrived only moments before the show was about to begin. The lights went down. With a sigh, Stanley lifted his flashlight and flickered it on as the curtain squeaked open. In the center of the bare stage stood a teenage boy and girl. They wore matching red outfits. Lucky people from America, a Chinese man in a tuxedo, stepped onto the stage. "All the way from the People's Republic of China, we bring you the Flying Chinese Wonders." A few people clapped as Stanley moved like a spotlight back and forth between the two performers. They bowed slowly. "This is going to be even worse than I thought," figured Stanley. Then, in a flash, the boy and girl shot into the air. Flipping high over the stage, they grabbed hands and flattened their bodies, spinning around each other like sputtering propellers headed straight for the ground. Stanley held his breath as the human propellers spun faster and faster. Its descent slowing until it finally hovered a few feet from the ground. There they are. They are spinning and spinning and spinning like a propeller until they were just so close to the ground. They planted their feet and faced the audience with their arms in the air. The entire auditorium erupted in applause. Stanley couldn't believe it. The fine Chinese wonders were amazing. They swooped and sailed through the air. They twisted and flipped and spun like tops. Together, they became a dragon, a comet, and a fish on a trampoline. Sometimes Stanley could not tell where the first wonder began and the other ended. Their bodies can do anything, Stanley thought. His flashlight raced to keep up. For the grand finale, the flying Chinese wonders connected head to toe, puffed out their chests to form a circle, and rolled around the stage. When they came to a stop, each held out an arm and a leg. The giant circle had become the sun. It is the greatest thing Stanley had ever seen. He shouted, wooed, and clapped his. Stanley's heart plummeted as he watched the giant flashlight drop from his hand. Crash! The flying Chinese wonders looked up in alarm. Their circle shook and collapsed to the floor in a heap. So Stanley dropped the flashlight as they were performing, and now they fell. So we'll have to come back for chapter 2 to see what happened. It looks like one of the Chinese wonders is at the doctor. All right, I'll see you guys next time.